When he appeared before the National Assembly's Health Committee last week Thursday, Health Principal Secretary Nicholas Muraguri denied ever writing any letter to Treasury seeking the transfer of the ministry's internal auditor. Tuesday, before the Senate, the PS admitted to having written a letter.
We rely on with a lot of support from both internal and external partners, and some level of assurance is very important. That is why we had asked for a more senior person competent to handle, but I never personally asked for any transfer. That's speculation.
I called my colleague in Treasury to ask why an auditor who came in April is being transferred. And of course, my honored colleague told me he receives a lot of requests, and in this incident, he had received a request from my principal secretary to transfer the auditor. Having no further interest, I let the matter lie.
Today, the PS was back before the National Assembly.
He denied vehemently and completely that he was never aware and has never known that such a thing happened. But, Madam Chair, I had the opportunity to watch their interaction with the Senate. And there, he actually admitted to having written a letter asking that the auditor that was involved in this matter be transferred and someone else be brought.
I don't know whether we will get a different, we will get it from the same people. When they come to the National Assembly, a different version. When they go to the Senate, a different. We may be forced to put them on oath so that whatever they are saying can be taken as credible.
There are deliberations which took place here in this committee, and that is on the answered. And there are deliberations which took place in the Senate, that my belief is on record. I would suggest that we uphold that position.
Since the PS told us he did not write a letter and he has not changed, I would like us to stick to what he told us.
Bernard Mushere, the ministry's internal auditor, is the man the PS wanted transferred. He lifted the lid on the possible loss of billions of shillings at the ministry. The CS, however, appeared to blame him for the leaked report, which the ministry officials maintained they were never given a chance to respond to.
If it's a normal practice that when internal audit reports are, or other reports are available, they are supposed to be handed over, or rather directed to the cabinet secretary or the principal secretary as the accounting officer.
The internal auditor is supposed to report to the cabinet secretary through the principal secretary, but he chose to do so, and therefore that period which we had in between the submission of the report and also the time it became public, that was very important to me to be able to do that.
The MPs had also last week asked to inspect the 100 mobile clinics that the ministry says were delivered for 10 million shillings each, but are not in use at the moment, as the groundwork for where they will be deployed hasn't yet been laid.
What's the cost of preparing that ground? Given that each of these mobile clinics is costing 10 million, how much is costing to prepare that ground? So we would need to have been more prudent than to just go and build with this 10 million plus.
Some of the area, the grounds are well done, so we're just placing it. So it will differ depending on the location. In some areas, they are almost greenfield. We are going to a new location. We have to clear the grounds.
How much is it costing you to prepare those grounds? Okay, in total then, for all the 100.
If you give us 2 weeks, 3 weeks, in 3 weeks we should be able to do an estimate because we know where these clinics are going.
The ministry says they have engaged the National Audit Office, the EACC and other auditors from the Treasury on this. A complete audit report will be ready early next week. Sheila Sendeo, NTV.